Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the Daily Scan for Monday, January 26, 2014. All right, we are going to quickly take a look at the announcements for last Friday. PMI Manufacturing Index flash came in line, and existing home sales actually turned out to be a tad bit better. For today, pretty light. We just have this Dallas Fed manufacturing survey. Then it starts getting a little bit heavier during the week, and then Yellen comes out on Wednesday to say that we are kings of the United States and probably head of the consortium for the world. And this is what we think, and we're just packing more money in our own pockets here. Oh, did I say that? I didn't say that. It's called the FOMC meeting announcement. Oh, okay, all right. That's what's going to happen on Wednesday, and sort of light heading into the weekend. Friday looks kind of heavy, I guess you might say, but not too many reds. There's actually 2 reds tomorrow, a red on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Okay, let's take a look at what's going on across the ponds in Asia. Sort of mixed. A little bit of concern about what's going on here in Greece and in Europe. Pretty positive across the board, actually. And we look at our futures here. Let's pop it up here. Actually looking a little negative. So it's a bit of a surprise from that perspective. Gold is down almost $10 overnight, which is good for my covered call because now it may not be in the money anymore. Oil is at 45.11. I was actually wondering for a second there if I was looking at the right thing here. I forgot oil's down so low. Dollar's at 95.25, and against the euro it's $1.12, sinking fast. All right, we had a new Thinkorswim release over the weekend, and they added a couple of indicators, and it has to do with put-call ratio. So we have one, this one is for the, if we go into edit mode here, let's go into edit, and you can see this a little bit better. Edit this list. So if we take a look at this, we have Dow Jones volatility now, and now we also have put-call ratio. And of course, if it's over 1, then I think that's bullish, and if it's under 1, then it's bearish. So for the S&P, looking actually very bearish. That's a huge skewed ratio there. We have the NASDAQ here too, and we have the Russell. The Russell is looking actually a little bit more bearish. So I believe that's, I think that's what it's telling us. I'll have to read it over again, but usually, with the ratio, if you have something, it's called put to calls, so it'd be puts over calls. Maybe if the number is bigger than 1, I don't know, I have to look it up. I'm pretty sure that if it's less than 1, it's there's more puts than there are calls, which is like a negative sentiment. But when you're doing, for instance, if you're a trader like me and you're bullish on a stock, you would be doing puts. So I don't know that it really matters anymore. We'll keep an eye on it and see what it looks like to us. I don't know if there's a chart on this or not. Let's see if there is. Let's take a look at the S&P. Alright, so we don't have enough data, or maybe they're just not collecting it yet. So we have the 23rd, the 22nd, and the 21st. So maybe they just started collecting it. So we'll keep an eye on that. How's that? And see if we can, if we get any sort of decent chart. So maybe we can get some sort of sentiment here. Here's the VIX. And the VIX is pretty low right now. So maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. Let's take a look at RVX, because this one is huge here. So actually, volatility on the Russell 2000 is pretty darn low, and it's almost at a historic low. The lowest it's been for the year is here, 15, 18. Right now we're at 20. And we don't have enough put-call ratio history here to see how it matches up against the volatility. So we'll see how that works out over time. I think we're probably just going to have to collect some more data on that. All right, I'm going to take a look at last week. It was a little hard on the account here. SPX was a junker trade. Actually lost 300 on each of these. That's strange. And then on Friday, I popped one in a quickie day trade on Priceline that turned out well at the 1050 level, and that was a bear call as well. So all bear calls last week, and only the one on Friday on Priceline worked out. So that's the week. It's not up there on my blog yet, but maybe by the time I publish this video, it may be up there. I'll make sure that I get it up there for you guys if you're interested. All right, let's get going with the scan here. And I was messing with my charts over the weekend, and if they're not looking the way that they were looking last week, I apologize for that, because, you know, still not happy with the charts in Thinkorswim, especially with what they're doing with drawings. Drives me nuts. Makes me crazy what they're doing, or what the way that they do drawings. So I ended up with all those old drawings back on my charts again. So as we go through here, we may end up with those warnings saying, oh no, you got a million billion drawings. Well, looky here, we have earnings on Apple. Today's the 26th, and they have earnings tomorrow. Historically, a big event, just because Apple is so heavily traded. So we'll be waiting to see what happens with that one. ABX, it's Monday. We'll take a look at ABX. Oh, and you know what? None of my drawings are on here. Oh, that's... Man, I'll tell you what, these guys just drive me up a wall. So I'm going to have to recreate the drawings that I had on here. I'm not going to bother with that right now. I may not bother for a couple days, who knows. Depends on how busy I am. Anyway, if we go back here and take a look quickly, ABX, we have that July 13 call. So, that's up here, almost in the money, and now it's backing off. So I was thinking, remember, of just closing this thing out, but it lost a whole bunch of money on Friday, obviously, looking at the chart. So I'm going to wait for it, see if it moves up. You know, when it gets right at the money, that's probably going to be the max profit that I'm going to be able to do on that. So here's what I'm going to do for right now is I'm putting an alert in here, and if I get actually, well, I can put an alert in, but I think I'm going to put a order in to close it out too. I'll make it at 13. I'll have to figure out what price I might be looking for on this. Okay, Amazon. Earnings this week as well. Boeing. At least the charts are a little bit faster. Earnings this week. Also, Alibaba earnings this week. Baidu, don't see any earnings. We were looking to do a bear call on this on Friday, and it did not work out for us. When do we have earnings? 2/1. Okay, so it's actually next week. So looky here. We have these drawings showing up here. So I'm going to take this off. Yeah, IV is going to be increasing this week, so I'm taking a pass on that. See a drawings thing here. Chipotle earnings next week. Pass on that. Costco, we might have a play on Costco. All right, what are we seeing here? Seeing moving average turnover here. We got a down arrow on person pivot on that's on the weekly. So we're kind of looking to be bearish on this. This is in a setup mode, and it feels like it's been in a setup mode for a while. Yeah, last week it was also in a setup mode. So we're putting it down for today as a bear call setup. And that, short trades are looking initially for 50% profit, and we'll just get out if we get it. Gold, I'm sorry, the Dow. It may set it's up for the year, but I don't quite see that. Actually ended up pulling back on Friday. Gold. Well, we still have the drawings here. These are very old drawings. Very, very old drawings. I have to clean them up again. Just go through the list and clean up all the stupid drawings. But I do have that covered call. And right now the call is at 123. And we're actually in the money on that. It should say in the money here. It does say in the money. And I was looking at rolling that, but I think I can wait a while yet. So that's what I'm going to do. We don't have any dividends on this that we have to worry about. Google earnings this week. LinkedIn earnings next week. And alert set up on here, looking to possibly get in, and it's just really gapped up, and I have a feeling that we're probably going to end up in a new uptrend, especially on the weekly. So we're a little bit got some confusing signals on that. So we can look at the mini NASDAQ cash index here. Mini meaning it's 1/10, and NDX will look, of course, almost exactly the same. And what are we seeing here? We are seeing a downtrend on the weekly and a really nice pop here. A little bit confusing and conflicting here. And it's not really giving us a chance, is it? So I think we need to take a bit of a look at, maybe zoom out here. Let's take a look at the intraday. Not a lot of opportunity for entry here. A little bit of a pullback here, which could have been an entry. And where are we? That brings us to this spot right here. On the daily, we went into what could be called a new uptrend, and this would have been a nice place to jump in right here. So I think that on these, because we're getting this conflicting signal, we need to turn more towards the intraday for our ultra short-term trades. Now, what's going on here? This looks juicy to me anyway for a bear call, very short term. I'm trying to anticipate this and I'm not letting it talk to me. I'm trying to force a decision here. So I'm going to take a look at it anyway as a bear call for today in a setup. And we'll just see what it might look like, just because we're looking pretty depressed here. Pretty bearish for the day. And looking to, trade. I mean, can't make money if you're not trading. Netflix, we just need it to settle down a little bit. The S&P 100, we had an alert set on it, and I think I'm just going to move that up. It's probably going to trigger right away anyway. Same thing as the NDX. Looking like we might be able to jump in on something short here, but I'm not sure if OEX tax-wise is treated the same as Priceline. I need to treated the same as the other cash indexes. I need to check up on that. And Priceline has earnings out here sometime. Usually they're at the very, very end or almost out of the window of the earnings season. So Priceline we don't really need to worry about. We're in a downtrend, and I think I'm seeing a setup here. As a matter of fact, this is an alertable trade. So I'm throwing an alert in here, and that's what we're going to call it, alertable. All right, the Russell. Kind of the same thing here. It looks like it's rolling over on the intraday. We'll just move this alert up a little bit and call it a day. SPX. Kind of looks the same, doesn't it? Got really weak in the afternoon. I wish I'd have been around to see that, but I wasn't going to stay in. I'm not staying in for a weekend, so this looks pretty ripe. Very ripe. So I'm putting that down under the setup as well, and that would be SPX. Tesla, I think they just, when they have earnings, we don't know when. So Tesla, in a downtrend, this is in a setup mode for a bear call. And Visa, last but not least for today, has earnings this week, so we're going to take a pass on that. All right. Should be a fun day. I spent some time today deleting drawings on this list. So, just to clean things up a little bit. All right, so that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Have a great day and happy trading.